everybody, welcome back to Morsel Media. I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And today we're going to review The Mandalorian Episode 4.
I mean, I guess to just start talking about the actual episode itself, like, you open up with that villager scene, and they're like, farming seafood, I guess, like shrimp.
I think it's called krill at some point, and it's like a blue. It's like blue. They're blue krill, so, and they either turn it into some sort of they like ferment it in some way, shape, or form to make it into some sort of like alcoholic beverage.
Okay.
Or they just use it for food stuff.
All of a sudden, you see brigands attacked, right? So the brigands are they're like a bulldog animal.
They're called Klatooinians. Yeah, I don't know if I have any up front here, but yeah, they're called Klatooinians, and they're like a bulldog, kind of a droopy, droop face. And like you said, when the brigands attacked, there's all these ponds around the village, and then there's like it's surrounded by forest, and in the forest there ends up being like these red lights that kind of illuminate the forest at some point, and like some lasers come out. So you know that there's some kind of vehicle out there, and you can hear it. You can hear it stomping around, and you can see the trees falling, the silhouettes of the trees falling over.
The thing
we meet like a side character almost.
Yeah, Hot Widow.
Yeah,
and
she dives in. She takes the basket. She grabs her. She takes the basket and sticks it over her head. While she's like in the water, their noses are up. Yeah, they're leaning up against the riverbank.
It's very, very like mom saving child cliche.
Yeah, tropey. It was a little tropey.
Yeah. I mean,
running straight into the fire.
She ran into the source of danger and rescued her child, and then hid under a basket. I mean, whatever. Again, so the brigands do what they do best. They pillage the village. Pillage the village.
Yep.
That should be a T-shirt.
Hashtag pillage the village.
The village.
Yeah.
Right here.
So pretty much it ends up being like she's like holding her daughter and like looking into the forest as the Klatooinians go away, and then it cuts to the Mandalorian in the spaceship, and Baby Yoda's right next to him. Mando's driving, and Yoda looks over and sees like a couple switches, and just boop, and nothing happens. All right, puts back, good. All right, another one, doop, nothing happens. All right.
Stop touching stuff.
And then Mando says like, stop touching that.
Stop touching stuff.
And then Yoda, like a defiant little shit, looks at Mando and just like his eyes like were wide up, and he legitimately leans his whole body over and reaches very purposefully and slowly and goes, and the ship goes.
Yeah, it's a very toddler thing that he does.
It was cool. It was like it's funny.
It's very specific. Literally. Baby Yoda is pushing buttons.
Very. I like the visual metaphor on that. As a parent, you'd know what the hell that would mean. Yeah. Mando ends up like talking to Baby Yoda, not to himself, Baby Yoda, whatever. We get the exposition. It's like, oh, here's this planet. It's a backwater. There's nobody there. There's no spaceports. There's no nothing.
Right.
All right, let's land there. So they land there, and then Mando's like, Baby Yoda, stay here. I'm gonna go check out the locals. I'm gonna go see what's up. Don't do anything.
Don't move.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. So we cut to the whole side hatch opening up, and you see Mando, and it comes down, and you see Mando, and it cuts down, and then right as it gets to the bottom, you see little Baby Yoda right there.
Yep.
And Mando just looks down, and he's like, whatever, fine, let's go. I think it was CGI where Baby Yoda's walking away. I don't know if it was like a puppet, maybe like a puppet they were hanging.
Right.
A lot more CGI as we get on in the season.
Yeah, I see that.
Still plenty of puppet shots, don't get me wrong, plenty of puppet shots, but a lot more CGI. Like even the last episode, he reached for the ball for a split second, but it was CGI for that split second. But it was really, really well done.
So they end up in the backwater planet, or backwater world.
Yeah, and then they go to the small town, and they end up either in like a local tavern or a restaurant or market, kind of a combination of all those things.
Mando walks into a bar.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, again, right. We actually see a little like a cat creature. I forget what it's called off the top of my head. I'm sorry, folks, but it's from like Rebels or it's from Rebels or Clone Wars or something like that. And it's like a little cat thing. It's the first time we're seeing it in live action, even though it's totally CGI. But Baby Yoda walks past it and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
And it comes out. It was nice little fan service right there. We finally get introduced to Cara Dune. She's sitting there just kind of eating at a table. Mando and Yoda walk past. They sit at their own table. And I guess the barkeep comes over and ends up saying, like, what can I get you? Mando's like, what do you have? This, that, and the other thing. Like she says something, I forget off the top of what it is, and then he asks for bone broth for the child.
Right.
She's standing in front of Cara Dune, and they're talking about, like, he asks, like, how long has that one been here?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, a couple of weeks. So she's already been there before Mando has.
Yeah.
So it's not like she's following him. And so as he's done talking to the barkeep, she moves away, and as he looks up again, and Cara Dune's gone from the background.
Yeah.
So I thought that was nice. It was like smooth, real smooth transition.
Visually, they introduce her, and then they introduce that she's a threat to Mando.
Yeah.
Within 15 seconds.
Yeah, probably less than 30 seconds. Yeah.
So I mean, there's no doubt that you're going to see her. She stands out. I mean, the woman is she's beautiful, and she's like what,
and 6 kick her ass,
6 foot, like.
And her outfit isn't like, hey, I'm
right, yeah.
God,
thank
God. It's like, hey, I'm Cara Dune, and I'm gonna whoop your ass, and I've got just as much armor as you do.
Yeah.
And so et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and she doesn't have like the standard sci-fi woman breastplate.
Yeah.
It's just the standard.
It's just normal. It just kind of looks normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mando ends up walking outside, and as he walks outside, looks at the barkeep and says, flips the barkeep a coin and says, keep an eye on the kid.
Yeah.
And then walks outside and then goes doop. And then in the previous episode, I think we've seen him use a tracking thing. And so he's like, all right, she went around the corner. Let's go see what's up. Walks around the corner, and then she jumps out of nowhere, and, they get in a little scuffle.
Yeah, there's some fisticuffs.
Yep.
It's kind of like 50-50. So, they're fighting, and then all of a sudden they realize they're not really enemies.
Yeah.
So then they start talking.
Yeah, well, they roll, and they end up, they end up doing the upside down, gun at each other thing.
The 50-50.
And then you hear you hear, this is what you hear. You hear. And they both awkwardly look over towards the sound, and it's Baby Yoda just eating his bone broth. Like, you guys done with this shit or what?
Yeah, he definitely does look like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So cut back into the restaurant, tavern thing, market, whatever. Cara Dune, as it turns out, ends up being a Republic heavy shock trooper.
Yeah. Who
used to pretty much drop into planets and take on the Imperials during the war. Then after the war, she ended up, it turned into like it was peacetime, and rather than hunting down the leftover Imperial remnant, as it were, she ended up. She was good at what she did, so she ended up having to protect politicians.
Right.
And so
she was like space secret service.
Yeah, and she pretty much, I think that she says something, I think she mentions her chain code, and like if it comes up in this episode at some point, if her chain code comes up somewhere, that they'll find out where she's at, because she's like, I think she's actually a deserter. So this episode is pretty much just the introduction of Cara Dune and the Mandalorian, and their relationship together, which is just kind of buddy-buddy, and not like buddy cop, but
it's a peer relationship.
Yeah, it's peer-to-peer relationship. There's a sub of a subplot of a romance between the widower that you mentioned earlier.
That's such a red herring plot.
Yeah, there's nothing to it,
and it's really all I think it does is it provides that character plot protection. It could be a plot line that they're developing for mid-season 2, for all we know. But it just seemed a little odd that they threw that obvious red herring out there.
So, and long story short, in the village is some of the subplot of this romance, and then Cara Dune ends up training the villagers in like some close quarters combat, how to build barricades, how to build a trap for the ATST, which is they find out because Cara Dune and Mando end up going scouting for stuff, and then they figure out what it is using the Mando's tracking stuff in his helmet, and it's pretty much just them working together. Climax of the episode would be Mando and Cara Dune ending up going to their little outpost, the brigands' little outpost or fort or whatever. They find all the vats of the stuff, of the blue stuff that they stole from earlier. They put little bombs everywhere. They end up getting attacked. They take it out. They run back to the village. The ATST attacks.
Run.
Yeah, they defend the village, and everybody's, oh my god, what's happening? The Klatooinians attack again.
Right. Cara
Dune runs out and takes on the ATST by herself when she's in the water because it can't, it's too close. And
did Mando give her his rifle? It looked like she was wearing the holiday special.
Yeah. He gave her the holiday special, and then she takes out part of the ATST,
Right.
and then it starts to take a half a step towards her and goes too far and slides into the trap that they built, the extra deep trough.
Right.
And as it slumps over, Mando runs out, thermal detonates it, boom, blows up. Yay! Let's cut to the next scene. Everybody, celebrate. Next scene is Mando and Cara talking on a porch, and she's like, "Why don't you stay here? That lady pretty much likes you. She'll do anything for you." Mando's like, "Nah, gonna leave the kid here. I don't know what you're gonna do, but I'm leaving. I'm peacing out." And then
he's like, "I'm gonna leave the kid here."
Yeah, and then
Cara's like, because Cara Dune is telling him like, "Oh, it's gonna break Baby Yoda's heart to have to leave here." He's got at this point, Baby Yoda's playing with a group of kids. So they fade out to that, and they fade to a sniper looking through a scope, and he's got Mando and the baby in his sights, or one or the other. So and then you hear a blaster go off, and the sniper falls dead, and Cara Dune's behind him. Mm-hmm. And then Mando's
freaking out. Yeah. He runs out where the blaster and Cara Dune's taking care of the guy, making sure he's dead. And Mando pulls a fob out. Yeah, and he's like, "They're never going to stop coming for him, so I gotta end up taking him home. I'm sorry, I gotta end up taking him off planet with me on the spaceship.
Can't stay anymore.
Yeah, can't stay no more."
So sad tears. Baby Yoda has to leave the
there's a cute little end scene where
world.
Yeah, cute little end scene where he says goodbye to everybody. And then, the last scene, the last shot of the show is Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Love them. They're so fantastic.
No, they are really good.
The slight blink, when the slight blink that is too fast for us to see because it's an actual blink.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, it's so convincing. Even though it's not closing all the way, it's still so convincing.
Yeah, right. But if I was going to give this episode a grade, I would say this is a 5.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd give it 6. I still like the production quality is good. I like the red light in the ATST to give it a more ominous feel when it's in the forest.
The 5 points I'm giving it are for production execution. I think. Okay. I think it.
You really think it didn't matter at all?
I just think it lacks on actual drama.
It felt safe.
It felt very safe for any of the characters that were actually involved in the plot.
Okay.
It's. To me, this is textbook plot protection. Mm-hmm. This is, to me, where...
Yeah, all the villagers are going to save the Mando if he starts to get shot at. They're going to be like, "I'll save you, Mando!"
I named the two guys, Howard and Kumar.
Okay.
You see them at the first scene.
There are actually some actors whose names we should know because they're they're not bit parts, but they're...
No, they're...
I mean, the one place, I think it's Pillboy in The Good Place. Shout out to The Good Place, by the way, good show.
Oh, that's an awesome show.
I mean, we should review The Good Place next.
Yes.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Because I liked it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't the best, but it was good quality television, and the production value again is great. So I'm gonna 6 or 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, as we can see. 7 out of 10 for me, actually.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm gonna bump it up there.
I don't think I'm gonna do any bumping up in mine.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's just a...
So overall, a 6 out of 10 between the two of us.
Yeah, average.
And that's fine.
Middling.
That's fine.
That's what I said.
So an 8 out of 10 for me. 10
out of 10.
I mean a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10 for me because this. You know what? This show, even though it might have been a middling episode. We got more Star Wars. And we got more pew-pew. We got more pew-pew Star Wars.
Okay.
And not just between stormtroopers and some Jedi, or stormtroopers and some Republic soldiers. We got some scum and villainy. Pew-pew.
No, I mean, there's...
So I'm going to actually do that. I'm going to say...
All of a sudden, 9, this is 11 out of 10.
9 out of 10. I'm going to say 9 out of 10 for more pew-pew.
Okay.
9 out of 10 pew-pews. Is what I'm saying.
To me, putting Star Wars brand on something shouldn't make it automatically good or bad. Right?
No. I understand that, but I mean, I've only seen one Clatoonian on the screen at a time. Besides,
I don't have
cartoon.
that connection to it.
See, I do. So 10 out of 10. Another 10 out of 10 episode here at Marshall Media. So episode 4 was 10 out of 10 for me, to be quite honest. I was just playing along with him, saying 7 or whatever. But no, he's fine. You're more of a hardest than I am, which is fine.
Well, I just think with the previous episodes setting a relatively high bar for execution, and even in episode execution of storylines. This was more of like, oh, we have a bulletproof plot blanket we're throwing over everybody in this episode, and it's just so that we can show that they're in desperate measures and building a team.
So we both agree it's 11 out of 10. Sorry for the quick review. It wasn't a filler episode. I wouldn't say it was a filler episode, but it was just used to establish the Mandalorian and Cara Dune's relationship and how they can work well together going forward.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure that, like, I don't hate Star Wars.
Oh, not at all,
yeah,
no.
So I'm not giving you a 5 because I'm like, Star Wars.
Not at all.
It's just like,
you're critiquing. Well, I mean, in the last few reviews, I've cut out there have been too many extras in the background. The repeating extras in the background.
Right.
Or episode 1 where the money's on the table, cut the grief cargo, money's off the table, money's back on the table. Like continuity errors. There's been plenty of them so far that I cut out because I'm going to be the good guy on camera.
No, I agree.
So, and that's what it is.
Yeah,
I'm going to be the good guy. I'm going to make you the bad guy because I edit it. I edit it. So that's what happens, guys.
I'm the heel.
So yeah, guys, thanks again for tuning in to Morsel Media. I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
See ya.